Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that still keeps going. Today in the news, sadness in the world of Nintendo as we learn that the eShop will be closing for 3DS and Wii U as of March 2023. However, that timeline is even a little misleading according to their own statements. In May of this year, they'll be removing the ability to use your credit card to fund your account on the Nintendo eShop for the two consoles. And then in August, you will no longer be able to use any eShop cards. They did say you will, however, be able to use download codes until 2023. Now, sure, I understand phasing out features for decade-old consoles, but there has been a lot of pushback from fans of classic Nintendo games. The upset, according to fans, comes from Nintendo's increasing push away from players owning games. With the eShop's closure, that is one less way to own a game, and there are many claims that roughly 1,000 digital titles will be gone for good. And for the remaining games, the only way to get them is through the Switch subscription model. Some commenters felt Nintendo ended the virtual console so games you owned wouldn't transfer to newer consoles, then locked everything behind Switch Online so you're just kind of renting games instead of owning them now. In response, the Nintendo FAQ in the blog post about the change straight up tried to answer the question many fans of classic games were asking. Doesn't Nintendo have an obligation to preserve these classic games? To which they replied, across our Nintendo Switch Online membership plans, over 130 classic games are currently available in growing libraries for various legacy systems. The games are often enhanced with new features such as online play. Within these libraries, new and longtime players can not only find games they remember or have heard about, but other fun games they might not have thought to seek out otherwise. We currently have no plans to offer classic content in other ways. So of course, especially that last line did not sit well with fans, as apparently having options is something people enjoy. So then the calls for Nintendo to preserve its catalog increased. And of course, in those calls, this section of the FAQ was linked by the internet. And Nintendo clearly heard them, and as a result, straight up removed it from the FAQ section. It is no longer there. They don't even acknowledge it anymore. All in all, not a great look for Nintendo. It reminds me of last week when we talked about that music archive on YouTube that got shut down by them. It's just, I don't know, it seems like terrible PR. What do you think? Am I missing something? Is the internet as a whole blowing this out of proportion? Is the amount of people who like classic games just very small but very loud? I don't know. What do you think? In the comments below, that's what they're there for. Let me know. I'm sure there'll be more on this in the future. In other news, Platinum Games chief designer Hideki Kamiya has some things to say about the future of the company. Known for games like Bayonetta, Nier, and the always amazing Metal Gear Rising, last week in an interview with IGN Japan, Platinum's chief game designer said they want the company to be known for more than just being an action game studio. We don't want to be labeled as the action game company. We want to be labeled as a company that is interested in original, fun gameplay. I hope with the things that we do in the future, that philosophy will become more apparent to our fans. Now, before you stress, it doesn't mean they're moving away from what their fans love. They're still going to make games like Bayonetta 3. It is on the way. But it appears to be some sort of indication of what other games they're working on that are coming much sooner than that title. In the pipeline, coming along on the 22nd, is Soul Cresta, which appears to be an old school shmup game. Then the 25th, a PlayStation demo releases for Babylon's Fall, which is a live service hack and slash RPG. And then, of course, the most interesting part of the interview, talk about Scalebound getting another chance. If you don't remember Scalebound, I don't blame you. It's been a while. It's a game we got trailers for a few years ago about a guy who, now that I realize it, kind of looks like he's related to the dude from Final Fantasy Stranger in Paradise. Anyway, you're a cool dude, bro, and you have a dragon, and from the trailers and first looks we got, it was pretty awesome. But the game was scrapped after what I consider to be a little too much Microsoft intervention. Platinum Games basically said, look, they want us to make this online and have all these online features, and we just don't have the in-studio know-how to make that happen. And so, unceremoniously, the game was canceled. And while it is very cool that they are thinking about bringing it back, in 2020, Phil Spencer did say, I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen. But a lot has happened since then. Microsoft just be buying up companies, so who knows what could happen. I'm sure Platinum might welcome an offer. I guess we'll find out. Maybe there is still hope for Scalebound to come in the future. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for 5 Minute Gaming News. Thank you so much for all the support, the likes, the comments below, all of you who subscribed and hit that bell. That is a rarity when people hit that bell, so thank you for doing that. It means the world to me. And of course, to everyone over at patreon.com/Jesse Cox, you are my heroes for allowing me to do this nonsense and love doing it. Big thank yous to Andrew Francis and two names that I see all the time on stream, Harper Hex and Baker Staunch. Thank you both so much. All right, well, I'll see y'all tomorrow for another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News.